There are great set of technologies that are enabling the dream of digital transformation. So 5G, IoT, AI, machine learning, or the Web 3.0 is set of technology enablers which are building blocks.
Today we hear a lot of buzz about digital transformation these days. Would you be generous enough to tell our audience about what exactly is a digital transformation and what are the key areas to focus on when planning a roadmap for the digital transformation of an organization?
Yeah, Simran, I think I have a firm view, having seen customers go through digital journeys, transformation journeys, and we as a telco also are going through transformation journey. But before I share some of the pillars of it, one thing I think is we always prefer to call it the perfect storm, where I think there are great set of technologies that are enabling the dream of digital transformation. So 5G, IoT, AI, machine learning, or the Web 3.0 is set of technology enablers which are building blocks. On the second hand, if you imagine the storm to be a trifecta of three different things happening at the same time, is the customers and consumers changing the way they engage. And we've spoken about it earlier about the metaverse or omni-channel engagement. On the third dimension of the digital transformation and the storm that I'm talking about is a great need to kind of progress in the business. And I think some of the companies today, if I've seen, spell out a digital strategy, and it's clearly linked to business outcomes, which they spell out and commit to the shareholders. Now, that's a serious statement some of the companies make, which means digital has come to be established as something that drives both top line and bottom line in a tangible way. So if you put these three factors together, I think that's called the perfect storm, where I think there is a need, there is a technology drivers that are enabled, and there are customers waiting to be adopting this. And the way to navigate this, in my view, from my experience, is actually focusing on three pillars. And I would draw a bit of an inspiration from Porter's value chain framework. The first pillar is, if you are a provider and a company which is actually in the space of offering digital transformation solutions, you got to be a digital business yourself. Your operations, your supply chain, your forward and backward supply chains, your own offices, how digital they are. Have you digitalized the operations that you are into? Have you automated some of those process handoffs? Have you used some of those new age techniques to kind of drive efficiencies? And that largely is in the Porter's parlance. I think these are the support functions in the value chain framework. The second, and one of the most critical ones, is digital workspaces. The focus on digital workspaces is on the employee or the human part of it. And I think it is, research has proven, or the trends have proven, that a workplace which is more digital attracts the best talent, diversity, and more richness in thought, and probably a great place that people would love you for. Now, digital workspaces, probably as a topic we've spoken about in a different way, which is called the future of work, has attracted or probably garnered better traction in the pandemic. But essentially, the focus has to be on the human and the productivity and being empathetic to the employees and their well-being, especially as we all get back to the hybrid world. So again, adopting tools like collaboration, safe communication channels, and constantly keeping the engagement alive is critical to the success of what you want to achieve as a digitally transformed company. And one of the examples of human-centered approaches is, I think, it's not just enough that you digitize the processes and systems, but have you trained people to be aware of digital? Have you trained them in agile ways of working? Because it does a transformation of many sorts. It does transforms the way you work and the way you run projects. So I'm just doing a call out on, when you're talking about digital workspaces, skilling of employees is equally important. And third, more fascinating part is digital customers. Your customers, when you're working with them, how are they using the power of digital to engage with their end customers? And that I call it the B2B2C in a way. A great example is, I think, is we were in a conversation with, I can't name the customer, but a tire manufacturer who felt, can we put some intelligent Internet of Things sensors to change the way the tires are engaged today, especially the premium set of tires. Instead of selling them as tires, they sell it based on outcomes. And the outcomes are fuel efficiency, outcomes are as a service. Now, everything as a service is another aspect. I'm sure you are in that space of SaaS and stuff, so you will relate to it. I think what enables that is, I think, some of the digital technologies like IoT, or in the future, I think 5G as well. So the ability to leverage these technologies and design the products actually opens up new revenue streams. And that's what I think some of the companies which are at the cutting edge of digital are actually doing. And they are working with the ecosystem, and we are lucky to be in some of those conversations to really see the power of digital. So in my view, since you asked me about breaking down this whole digital transformation, yes, transformation is a big word, but if you focus that down into three pillars of how digital is your business, how digital are your workplaces and your employees, and third, how digital are your customers. And I think you probably can make a good headway into the future.